Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today I thought I would do a quick haul, show you what I got in the Sephora sale, and briefly go over a few other things that I picked up because I just want to be able to return them. So I'm going to tell you about some of the flops. Yes, I do have a few faves and flops that I didn't get into my April faves and flops, but now, you know, we're into May, so it's kind of almost a May faves and flops. Let's start off with Sephora haul for a free gift or with perks or something. I got the Jouer Essential. This is the sampler of their different shades of some of their foundations. And I tried, there's an alabaster shade and then fawn was the next shade. It went on really nice and serumy, and then, oh my god, it dried down. It looks like lace on your face. It's terrible. If you have dry skin, this Jouer Essential Foundation, absolutely, I'm so glad I got the sample of this because absolutely the worst.
Have to interrupt everything. It's Subscription Man. Please hit the subscribe button. Kathy A has a lot more for you. Subscribe, enjoy. Peace.
Thanks, subscription guy. That was the Bud Man. Okay, some fails. Let's just go through it. Alien, another one of those free gifts. If you order something, you get a free gift. This is Alien perfume, really pongy, very strong, and it stayed. And even though I tried washing my hand with alcohol, with Dawn, with soap, with everything else, I could not get the smell off, and it's just a little too strong for me. And Terry Mugler is, you know, quite famous for having, you know, they have that beautiful one, the one with the star. Yeah, no, Alien didn't work for me. Now this was recommended by several people to wear as an SPF underneath your makeup, and this is the Australian Gold. This is the 30 SPF, and it says it's a bronzing, instant bronzer as well. Well, I tell you, I tried it, and it looks so blotchy. It's so blotchy. I tried it on my arms, I tried it on my face, underneath my makeup. It made my makeup look awful. I don't know what people are talking about. Is there something else? Is there another product from this line maybe that works better? But this particular one, this bronzer, was awful. And I don't know if it was because of my skincare or because of my own DNA. I don't know. But whatever it is, this did not work for me at all. The Australian Gold instant bronzer. It's an SPF because I wanted to start putting SPF in so that I could talk about it a little bit more and you know, kind of spread the good word that we have to have SPF in our skincare now. Something else from my Sephora haul. This is something I actually spent some money on, and I'm so glad I did. This is the Clarins Base Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch. This is a primer, and what it is a thick gel. It looks like silicone gel, but it's not. Comes with these two little spatulas here, and the spatula has a little indentation at the end, like a little spoon almost, and when you open it up, you have like this creamy gel, and you take your spatula, and you're only supposed to get enough to fill that little tiny bit. That's actually too much. You're only supposed to use a teeny tiny bit. I would say a half a grain of rice worth. And then you take this and you can spread it just in those areas like your labial folds, or I call them the St. Bernard lines. A great way to try a primer out is right here on the inside of your thumb. If you put it in there, if it works in there, it's going to work anywhere on your face with any wrinkles. So, and this just blurred it right out. This is well worth the money. This was a big risk for me to take. It was a lot of money. I know that with Sephora I can return things, so it's not as big a risk as some of you in other countries who cannot return things. But I would say this is definitely worth it. It blurred the lines around my lips, in my St. Bernard lines, and that crack underneath my chin, in this crack here. Absolutely a marvelous thing. I also have some wrinkles here up in my forehead that I filled in. It was just like spackling before you paint a wall. Absolutely phenomenal. So that is the Clarins definitely would recommend this. It was my biggest expense for the Sephora. This is Clarins Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch, it's called. So you can get it right now in the Sephora sale. I would highly recommend it. Definitely worthwhile. It's my favorite primer, and it's a spot touch primer. And it's going to last a while because I'm only using it in certain areas, and I am using the spatula only, not my finger, to dip into it. So that's important too. How many of you, I'm not going to sing the theme because I have been reading other people's reviews on this, and they say one of the most annoying things about people reviewing the Game of Thrones series is them singing the song or humming the tune or whatever. I set my alarm for midnight, got up at midnight because on the 29th, Sephora and Ulta both were putting all their Game of Thrones stuff online. I don't know when they were going to do it, I just know sometime on 4/29. So knowing that there's Pacific Coast, there's Central, there's Eastern Coast, I started off with Eastern Time, and there was nothing. And I also signed up to get the emails. They tell me when it came in, you know. I wanted the vault, and the vault was I was just goal set for the vault. So I set my alarm, nothing. 12:15 came, nothing. I'm exhausted. I have to go to work the next day, so I set my alarm for 3 a.m. Apparently there was an email sent out at 2:09 a.m. stating that everything was online now and it was available. So between 2:09 a.m. and 3 a.m. when I got up for my second round of trying to get into it, the vault sold out again. But I was very smart. I got all the products that I was interested in that I thought I would have a chance or a clue even to keep. Things that I really wanted out of this vault without the box. I mean, basically the vault is a box. It's a box. So if you don't like all the products, why are you paying that? I know you save like $100 if you buy the vault, but if you don't like the highlighter palette, if you don't like certain lipsticks, if you don't want certain eyeliners, it's kind of a waste of money. So I only bought those things that I really loved, and then I shot over real quick to the Ulta site and picked up a few other things. So that's what I did. Because of that, I got the eyeshadow palette. I think it's amazing. I have a separate video. The Budman and I did a video together all about Game of Thrones, so I'm going to talk about it separately. I'm going to tell you that there are a couple things that I think are exceptional. The eyeshadow palette is one of them, and again, I will talk about this in another video. But this is the eyeshadow palette. It is quite amazing, and the names of all the shadows have to do with Game of Thrones, so all of you who are fans of the show will love this. Of course, there's only a few episodes left, and after the last episode, I'm not sure at what a moot point this is all going to be. So I'm really glad I got the eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to say now that the quality of this was excellent. I love certain shades in here are extraordinary. I think the White Walkers segment is quite good. So I'm not going to do any spoilers here on this, but I will say that the eyeshadow palette was definitely worth it. Plus, with the 20% off in the Rouge sale, and now we're into the VIB and the Insider sale, so you can get 10% or 15% off. If there's any of these left, shoot for it because it's really nice. I also did get eyeliners. I want to wait and talk about those when I do my Game of Thrones review. For lipsticks, there are 3. I have Sansa, Cersei, and the White Walkers lipsticks. And I will say out of the 3, only the Sansa Stark lipstick was any good as far as I was concerned, as far as my coloring goes and all that. The formulation for all 3 was nice. And I particularly like the Sansa Stark, so I will go over these again in the other video. This was a total disappointment. This is the Dragon's Blood Dracarys, I think it is. Whenever she was gonna, again, I don't want to give it all away. I'll just say that the Dragon's Blood is like a blush and also a lip stain. It was a fail. And I'll just say that at this point. I'll go into more detail in the Game of Thrones video, but the Dracarys stain was kind of a fail. The brush, I only managed to get one of the brushes, and it's the Jon Snow Long Claw. Absolutely wonderful brush. It's a good quality brush. I love the detailing in it. The little wolf head on the sword part of the brush has little red jewels for the eyes. It is very, very detail oriented. It's really cute to use. You find yourself holding the brush correctly because of the way the sword fits in your hands. And again, I'll go over it in the Game of Thrones video, but the needle one, which is more of the shader brush, that's the smaller one, was sold out every single place I went to. Okay, enough with the Game of Thrones. I did get another one of these. This is the Milk Kush Mascara, and I know that there's a whole movement of people who are getting very, very I guess, upset about the fact that there's a lot of CDB, is it CDB or CBL? There's two types of extracts that come out of a hemp plant. One gets you high, and one is actually got a lot of healing properties. It doesn't get you high. Now the one that doesn't get you high is the one that they're using in the makeup and skincare products. They're not pushing everybody to roll a joint here, okay? What it is the positive oils that they get out of the hemp plant are what are in these particular makeup products and skincare products. So people are just jumping all over this like it's you know, something illegal, and it's not. So I know that Beauty News got really angry at the cannabis kind of attitude that makeup industry's getting into. I mean, I know that Beautylish released a brush set that has clear handles that have little pot leaves inside, which, you know, it's kind of silly, but it is a thing right now. But I don't think smoking pot is the thing. It's the fact that there's healing properties of the hemp plant that are very beneficial. So we got to stop being so stuffy. Okay, this is a great mascara, and I got the sample size or the travel size of this. It's a great mascara to give a try if you haven't, and I think it's in one of the Give Me More lash kits, so you can always try it through that. And that is from Milk. For my perk points, this is the Belief Moisture Balm, I think it is. Absolutely wonderful stuff. This is my second one. This is a great moisturizer. It is the Belief. This is the smaller size. I'm almost out of it now. It's a pale blue moisturizer. It is like a drink of water. It's really good for dry skin. It's very, very nice. So I do like the Belief products, and I like the little top hat here for the cover. It's nice. Also in the sale, I did pick up one of the minis of the Hourglass blush, and this is Mood Exposure. And that is a really nice, very, very light, natural looking mauvey kind of blush. These are really nice. If you can get the smaller size from the Hourglass, you're not ever going to use these up because they take forever to get through. And it's a really nice high quality blush, and the minis are only, I think they're $22, so they're definitely worth it for you to try an Hourglass product. Mood Exposure, I think, is the most universally flattering on people, so I think that would be a great one to start with. Doesn't look like much in the pan, but when you put it on, it's beautiful, and you can see what everybody's so crazy about these blushes for. And their highlighters are good too, and their bronzers are good too. So Hourglass really excels in their powder products and their lip products. I had an old broken one in the back of my drawer, so I did replace it. This is the NARS Duo, and it's very inexpensive. I think it's like $25. You get both the NARS Orgasm Blush, and you get the Laguna bronzer, which you can also contour a little bit with. It is more of a contouring bronzer. It's a little bit dark. You can use a lighter, larger brush around your perimeters, but you can use this to sculpt a little bit. I do like the Orgasm blush a lot. I think it's something that's a staple in a lot of people's collections. And this is a great travel kit. You've got a mirror here on the bottom, and then you've got those two things. And I think it's a really nice way to try out NARS products. Online, Amazon, they're just jumping into this whole thing with the Game of Thrones. And there is, this is an 8-piece brush set. Got all of the main houses of Westeros. For Game of Thrones fans, you know what I'm talking about. So we have the Iron Islands, we have Tully, we have the Starks, the Lannisters, the Baratheons, Hand of the King, and we have the Starks, the wolf head for the Starks. These all are wonderful, and when my husband saw these, he goes, "Oh, those are cool. Are they drink stirrers?" What they are is brushes, but they might as well be drink stirrers, because honestly, I think only a couple of these worked very well as brushes. They are really cheap, tacky. I tried washing them. The Targaryen one is a light blush, more of a highlight brush. The Targaryen one. The one that surprised me was this one, and it is the Baratheon one. It's got a sponge tip applicator, and ironically that worked really well. It wasn't as patchy and awful as usually sponge tip applicators are, but it is a very, very cool. All of them are really cool. What I think I might do actually is make them drink stirrers, because I really love the handles on all of them. I love the fact that they've got all the houses represented. But the brushes, most of them are shaped like this slant tip, like a brow brush. And this one, the small one, is too stiff. I just didn't like the regular brushes at all. I can't think, not a single one of them. I didn't like them at all. You can use this one for eyelining. I thought that worked kind of well for that. But honestly, they were terrible. And they weren't very expensive, so I think they were like $13 for the set of 8. But I'm going to find some other use for them, because they're very heavy, and the tops are very well constructed. They come in this is the brass, I believe. They have a silver, they have a white gold. Absolutely beautiful, the tops. But forget the brushes, they're not useful at all. So don't buy them for brushes, buy them to stamp into cookies or something. They're just definitely not brush worthy, nothing I would recommend, but they are very extraordinary. And on the back, they have the crest saying for each house, which I thought was really cool. The Targaryens, they just have the little sayings for each house, what they stood for, what the sigil stood for. So that's something, just, you know, a little thing. And you know, we've got the Oreos here. The Oreos for all of the 4 main houses here. Well, we have White Walkers, Targaryen, the Starks, and the Lannisters, I believe. Really cute, really cute. They're on sale now everywhere, because after the next couple of episodes are over, we're kind of over, you know, the whole Game of Thrones thing. All right, here's another fail from the drugstore. This is the Revlon Color Stay Eyeliner and Bonus Volumizing Mascara. You got these two. If you got one, you got the other one as a free gift. I'm not sure which was which, but I think the eyeliner is what I purchased, and then this was the free gift. The eyeliner is awful, and what it is when you use the eyeliner, it wiggles. It wiggles in the casing, so you don't get a really good straight line. It wiggles, so that's no good. That's no good at all. On the other side, you have a very useless sponge that's supposed to smear this around and, you know, shear out your edges, so it's supposed to blend it out or buff it in, however you're viewing it. But I think it was just a waste of money. The mascara wasn't bad. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't bad. This is the Volumizing, it's called, it's cute, from Revlon. It's got a nice gnarly big brush. It does give you nice, I would say medium lash. It's not the best drugstore mascara I've ever used. It's not the worst, but it's not enough that I would recommend going out and getting it. And the fact that I got it as a free gift is really good because I don't like the eyeliner it came with. While in Revlon, it was buy one, get one 50% off. So I also wanted to try their eyeshadow primer. And this is something that it was okay. It was a little bit on the tacky side. I didn't like the feeling. I don't think I would recommend this eyeshadow primer because it didn't really seem to hold, and when I was trying to put eyeshadow over the top of it, it grabbed it, so it looked patchy and it was hard to make my eyeshadow look smooth. So I can't recommend this or the other thing. So unfortunately Revlon messed up. However, they have redeemed themselves with this. This is the brow pencil, the Color Stay brow pencil, and I actually like this one. This is a really nice, I've got the blonde shade. It makes a really nice, can make a nice natural looking brow with the pencil end. Turn it around, you've got your spoolie end so you can blend it up. Very nice, lasts all day, good color. I think, you know, as a blonde color, it's not too golden, which some of the blonde shades can get without going too dark like the taupey shades. So I do like the Color Stay brow pencil. One last thing from Sephora I got. I love their lip stains, the metallic lip stains, and this is the really red, I think it is this one. I've had that for a while, so I purchased this one, which is kind of a slightly more muted neutral version of this. This is the red and then this is the neutral version. I'll be dumbstruck if I know what the name is because once you take the label off you can't see it. See how pretty it is though? And it is a very shiny metallic lip stain. It looks so nice on. It's very, very dressy. It's something to wear in the evening. And the wear down is slow, and it has a light stain to it, so even though the metallic part will wear down, you still have that nice color on your lips. And the red is one of my favorite reds. I'll be doing a special on red and coral lipsticks and orange lipsticks pretty soon. So I do like this, and I think that the lip stain from Sephora is really good. And I forgot to mention that when I was talking about my Sephora stuff. Alright, I feel like I was misled here. This is something in Target right now. This is the Color Story, and they came out with several different palettes. These are the two that were highly recommended by another YouTuber, and I don't want to say who it is because I love her to death. She's great. She's a fairly new YouTuber, but she gets a lot of PR and she sees a lot of stuff, and she just talked these up to the point where I had to go and try them. I don't like either one of them. And the reason I don't like either one, from Color Story, you do have the mirror in here, and this is called Decadence, and it looks like it has a nice assortment of colors. They don't go on all that well. They're not very pigmented, and I found that they faded out. By the end of the day, I didn't have any color left, especially on those transition shades. So this is the Decadence palette, which has a lot of neutrals and warm tones to it. And then this is the Karma palette, which is good basics as well. And you've got some purples and cool tone grays and neutrals in here. Really, really pretty assortment. They both have mirrors in there. The packaging is just gorgeous on both of them. And I was such a sap for these because I love pretty packaging on palettes. And I love things that look like expensive palettes, only they're cheap copies, but I didn't care for the formulation of either of these. I thought they were cheap. They just feel like kids' makeup. So these are sold in Target. You can find them, usually they have them posted next to the Black Radiance section, which is a Wet n Wild product. So you can see these, and there's like 3 or 4 other palettes as well. in this line, I would not recommend any of them. I think that they're very poor performers. So don't be tempted by the pretty packaging. It's not worth it. I've been watching other people's hauls from Sephora to see what they picked up, and there have been some interesting hauls. I like to see what other people buy from Sephora when things are on sale, because if they're buying something, their money's where their mouth is, and I think that that's a lot different than somebody sending them PR. So I hope all of you are having a wonderful week. I will see you in the next video. We're going to be doing a Game of Thrones special. We're going to have some interesting ways to present the makeup to you. I think you'll be quite entertained. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend and have a great week. Take care, everybody. Toodles.